Compound interest. Albert Einstein allegedly once said that compound interest is the eighth wonder of the world. He who understands it receives it, he who doesn't pays it. And whether he officially said that or not, the concept is the same, that compound interest really is super powerful. And it's something that as dentists, a lot of times we're really focused on our earned income. You know, how much did I make this last week, this last month, this last year? And those are important, don't get me wrong, because your earned income is how you can generate money to invest to compound. So you still want to focus on your earned income, but you want to give at least as much attention to your compounding income and how you can compound that. A couple illustrations would be, let's say a dentist made $200,000 a year in their practice, and they made that same amount for the next 30 years, which realistically probably they'd make a little less at the beginning, a little more at the end. But let's just, for comparison's sake, let's look at that. $200,000 a year for 30 years. Okay, over 30 years, that would be $6 million of earned income. But let's say they took that, a percentage of that, they took 20%, which would be $40,000, and they invested that at 10% or a 10% return in a vehicle that was compounded year after year for the next 30 years. The one was 6 million. The other, the 20% that was compounded at 10% annualized return came out to be $7,989,312. So much more than the initial earned income, the total number of the earned income. And now let's look at what if you make that even bigger? Okay, well, what if the guy made or the gal made $1 million a year for the next 30 years? So they, in their practice, they earned $30 million for the next 30 years. So 30 years, that would be $30 million. Okay, but what if they took 20% of that, which would be 200,000, and invested that at a same 10% annualized return over the next 30 years? Guess what that would be? That total is even higher. That would be $39,946,560. So still by far exceeded their earned income. And if they were able to just let that grow even a few more years, it's amazing how interest just continues to compound. It's like a snowball that it starts out real small, but it gradually gets bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger. And that's why timing is so important, that you want to start compounding your wealth as soon as you can. And you also want to find good vehicles that you can get a realistic continual rate of return in the 8, 10, 15% or more return on a regular basis, because that's how you can really move from just being an earned income individual to somebody who can have passive income that can grow for year and year and decade and far outlive what your spending would be, assuming you have your spending in check. So hope that helps. And it's amazing when you look at it, compound interest, what it can do. Take care.